Making money in GTA 5 online can be a little confusing at times, but here in 2025, there are a ton of ways to make money and make money very, very easily. So that's why in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the 10 best ways to make money in GTA 5 online as a solo player. So let's waste no time and get right into it. At number 10, we have the most wanted contracts, aka the bail office. Now the bail office can be bought for $2 million. There are a couple ones you can buy, but I would just buy the cheapest one that you can get. And this is definitely not the best business in the game whatsoever, but it is a very underrated business. Now, like I said, at the surface, the bail office doesn't look like a very good business, but what we're going to be doing is not worrying about the other bounties. We're just going to be focusing on the most wanted contracts. Now, this is because the most wanted contract pays out $130,000 on average every single day. So what essentially we're going to be doing is every single time we log onto the game, we're going to run a most wanted contract, and that's only going to take you about 5 to 10 minutes. So every single time you log onto the game, in about 5 minutes, you have $130,000. Next up on the list, we have the Acid Lab. Now, the Acid Lab is one of the best passive businesses in the entire game. And what I mean by that is that you really don't have to do anything with this business. It mostly works all in the background. Now, if you're not familiar with the Acid Lab, essentially you just have to source supplies for the Acid Lab, or you can buy the supplies as well and they'll be sourced for you. But again, this is all in the background, and then once you have enough supplies, those supplies will then turn into product, and then you just have to do one big sell mission, which if you do in a public lobby, you can get upwards of $500,000 every single time. But if you do want some more information on the Acid Lab and a little bit more of a complete overhaul on how it works, I do have a video on my channel, so I'll link that down below if you want to check that out. Coming in at number 8, we have the Garment Factory, which can be found on Maze Bank foreclosures like all of the businesses in this video. But once you buy that Garment Factory, you're going to have access to the FIB files. Now, at the surface, these are just some short, fun missions that you can do in about 30 minutes to get $150,000 on average. But every single week, there's going to be a priority file that you can do for double money, which is going to be $300,000. So that's going to be about $300,000 in 30 minutes. So let's say you log on one day, you do a most wanted contract for $150,000, and then you go and do an FIB priority file. That's around $400,000 to $500,000 in about 45 minutes when you just logged on to the game. So I would definitely recommend using that strategy. And if you want to, you can even do the other FIB files. But yeah, the Garment Factory, a very solid business to have in your arsenal. Next up on the list, we have the Salvage Yard. Now, this is going to be another business that you do need to purchase. And if you're wondering why I'm telling you just to buy businesses when you clicked on this video to make money, don't worry. Down the line, there's going to be a couple missions and heists that we can do that you don't have to spend any money on. So just make sure you stay tuned for those. But for the Salvage Yard, these are some of the most fun missions, in my opinion, in the entire game. You get to do a couple of heists to basically steal a big helicopter and then steal a really fast car. So these are some of the most fun missions to do, and you can make around $400,000 in just about 40 to 45 minutes. So a really, really solid business to have. And there is also another way within this business to make some quick, easy money. If you purchase a tow truck alongside the business, you can basically do what you would think, go out and tow trucks, bring them back to your salvage yard, and then once your mechanics salvage those parts, you get about $30,000 to $40,000. So that's just another quick, easy way to make money with already a solid business. Coming in at number 6, we have the hangar business. Now, there are a couple hangars you can buy. You could buy one for 3.2 million or one for 2 million. I bought the one for 3.2. But if I were you, I'd probably just buy the one for 2 million. But the hangar business is a really, really solid way to make money. Now, it can be a little confusing. So if you need another guide, I would recommend looking up one on YouTube. But essentially, all you really have to do is source these supplies through either a air mission or a land mission. And I recommend doing land almost every single time because they're much, much quicker, especially if you have an Oppressor Mark II or a Sparrow helicopter. If you want to know how to get an Oppressor Mark II, very, very easily, I do have a video on my channel on how you can get that very, very quickly. But essentially for these missions, again, if you have an Oppressor Mark II, you can get them done in about 5 minutes. And like I said, the land missions are very, very easy to do, especially if you have that Oppressor Mark II. But once you get one of those done, you see they are on a little bit of a cooldown. So then you can just go ahead and do another one. I would recommend doing narcotics and medical supplies because if you do the same supplies over and over again, those stack and they give you more bonuses for when we do that big sell mission at the end. So the hangar business can be a little confusing, especially when you first start out, but once you get enough supplies, you can go ahead and sell all the cargo. Again, we're going to be doing it on land, and for this I only had $300,000 in supplies at the time, so it really wasn't that big of a sell. But because I did the sell mission in a public lobby, I got around close to $500,000 in a little under an hour. And I've even heard and seen people make close to $700,000 in an hour with this business, so the hangar is definitely one you want to have. Next up on the list, we have our first free way to make money here in GTA 5 Online, and it's going to be the Cluckin farm raid. Now, if you're a new player to the game, this is easily the best way to make money starting out. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to spend any money on a business. All you have to do is go to the V on your map and start up these missions. Now, like I said, this is easily the best way to make money if you're a new player to GTA 5 Online. And if you are a new player, it can take you around an hour and a half the first time you do this, but once you get experience, you get a bunch of fast cars and stuff like that, you'll be able to get the Cluckin farm raid done in about 45 minutes. So that's $500,000 in about 45 minutes, and then there's like an hour or two cooldown, and then you can just run that back again. So this is easily a top 5 way to make money in GTA 5 Online, just because it's very, very quick and easy, and you make $500,000 in just 45 minutes. Next up on the list, we have the agency. Now, this is another thing you're going to have to buy if you don't have it already, but these are going to be the Dr. Dre missions. Again, I have a video on my channel describing these missions a little bit more in detail if you want to check that out. But these missions are very simple to do. You really shouldn't need any walkthrough or anything on how to do them. They're pretty straightforward, and the first time you do it, it can take a little bit longer because there's a bunch of cutscenes and cooldowns and stuff like that you have to deal with. But after that, after you're running this back a couple of times, it should really only take you about 90 minutes to do, and you get $1 million every single time you do one of these VIP contracts. So that easily makes it one of the best businesses in the entire game. Like I said, they're very, very simple and easy missions to do, and they're also fun. You get to hang out with Dr. Dre and make a quick $1 million. Now, coming in at number 3, we have one of the newest heists to the game, and to get access to this heist, you are going to need to buy the new McKenzie Hangar. Now, like I said, this heist was just added to the game 2 months ago, so it's brand new in 2025, and it is easily a top 3 way to make money here in GTA 5 Online. And if you've done the Cluckin farm raid, or really any heist in GTA 5 Online, you should be familiar how this works. Essentially, we have some setup missions we have to do, and then we have a finale at the end. And the setup missions are pretty simple. You can see me running through these. None of the missions are really difficult at all. They're pretty straightforward and simple to follow. For the first one here, you just have to shoot down a transmission tower, and then you have to shoot down a plane and collect some cargo. So the missions are actually kind of fun, honestly, to do if you've never done them. And what I would recommend doing is going through the entire heist for the first time, do all of the setup missions, do the finale, learn how the heist works, and then when you go back to do the heist again after about an hour cooldown, you'll be able to go back to your McKenzie hangar, set up the heist again, but this time you're going to do it on hard mode. This is not only going to get you more money, but it's going to get you more XP as well. So for the first time that you do this heist, you're going to get around $500,000 in an hour. But once we've completed the heist for the first time and we're just spamming it over and over again, we're going to be making $750,000 every single hour. So this easily makes it better than the Cluckin farm raid, because you get around $500,000 for a Cluckin in 45 minutes. But with this, you can make $750,000 every single hour, easily making it a top 3 business in this game. And as you can see, you definitely want to make sure you're putting it on hard mode when you're doing the finale and all of the setup missions for that. But yeah, check out the McKenzie Hangar. It's a great way to make money here in GTA 5 Online. Coming in at number 2, we have some people's number 1, but my number 2, we have the Nightclub. Now, the Nightclub is one of the most complex businesses in this game, but it's also arguably the best. If you don't have a nightclub or you've never really worked with the nightclub, I would definitely recommend looking up again another video on everything that is included with this business. I have a small little guide on my channel again if you want to check that out. But essentially, we're just setting up other businesses to funnel through our nightclub, and then while we just play GTA 5, all in the background, your supplies in the nightclub are going to stack up over time, and then we can do a big sell mission at the end, very similar to the acid lab. And if again you do it in a public lobby, you can make well over $1 million every single sell mission, sometimes even upwards of $1.5 million. So the nightclub is easily a top 2 business in the game. A lot of people say it is the best business, especially if you're looking for a passive business to work on in the background when you're just playing the game. So if you don't have a nightclub, I don't know what you're doing. You definitely need to go get one. And finally, coming in at number 1, it should be no surprise to anybody that has played GTA 5 online in the last couple of years. But here in 2025, the Cayo Perico heist is still easily the best money-making method in the entire game. If you've never worked with a Cayo Perico heist before, you can expect to make about $1 million every single time you do this heist. You used to be able to make even more, like 1.5 every single time, but unfortunately, because this heist was so good when it first came out and because you could do it solo, Rockstar has nerfed it into the ground a bunch, but it is still easily the best way to make money because, again, you can make about $1 million every single time you do it. And if you get lucky, depending on what loot you get, you can still make $1.5 million in 2025 doing this heist. The only other downside is that you do have to wait about 2.5 hours until you can do it again, but that's all right because I just gave you 9 other businesses and 9 other ways to make money while you wait for your Cayo Perico heist to be able to run again. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys all did enjoy. If you learned something new, please consider subscribe to my channel. I just wanted to make this video to show you guys how to make money quick and easy here in 2025. So that's gonna wrap it up. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one.